The Golden State Warriors find themselves in a rather peculiar stage of their journey. After years of relying on the brilliance of a few names, the 2025 roster emerges as one of the most versatile and dangerous when it comes to long-range shooting. The arrival of pieces such as Seth Curry, Buddy Hield, and Al Horford, combined with the development of younger talents like Brandon Podziemski, Moses Moody, and even Quinton Post, provides an offensive arsenal reminiscent of the dynasty's best years. What is most striking is that all of these players boast solid three-point numbers, surpassing the 36.7% career mark, which creates a web of trust for any tactical scheme. This abundance of shooters is not merely an aesthetic detail, but a strategic resource that once again places Golden State among the most feared teams in terms of spacing and offensive efficiency. Among these pieces, Seth Curry deserves special attention. Long regarded only as the younger brother, he has built a career that embodies perseverance. He went undrafted in 2013, made his debut in 2014 only to be waived on the same day, and had to fight his way through the G League to prove he could transcend the label of a role player. His stints with Santa Cruz, Reno, and Erie were marked by games where he displayed lethal shooting precision and the resilience of someone willing to push through closed doors to earn his place. With each temporary call-up in teams such as Cleveland, Phoenix, and Sacramento, he gained experience and more opportunities until finally finding stability in Dallas. With the Mavericks, during his second spell, Seth proved he was more than just an occasional shooter. He was a specialist capable of stretching defenses, moving off the ball, and punishing opponents who gave him space. His 43% three-point efficiency is not only the best among the current Warriors, but also the seventh highest mark in NBA history. This achievement did not come by chance. Over 12 seasons, he refined the details, from mid-range shooting to defensive reads against taller opponents. His ability to survive in different offensive systems, whether alongside stars like Lillard or Embiid, has made him an indispensable playoff contributor. This journey of ups and downs, from early frustration to being established as a reliable veteran, is a huge asset for Golden State. It is not just about having another shooter, but about relying on someone who understands the league's challenges, who has adapted and become an example of longevity. Seth's presence broadens the tactical options and guarantees the team a player ready for the biggest moments, capable of responding under pressure. Another name who has already left his mark on the Warriors is Buddy Hield. He was the protagonist of Game 7 against the Houston Rockets, scoring 33 points, sinking 9 of 11 from 3, and dominating the game with 12 of 15 overall shooting. More than the points, it was the way he impacted both ends of the floor, adding blocks and steals that highlighted his importance. Over the course of his career, Hield has made more than 2,100 three-pointers, ranking 16th in history, just behind legends such as Paul Pierce. His reputation as one of the NBA's most feared shooters was forged early. Drafted by the New Orleans Pelicans in 2016, he gained true notoriety in Sacramento, where he averaged 20 points and established himself as a three-point leader. Over time, he refined his physical conditioning, mechanics, and movement, becoming versatile enough to fit into any system. His three-point contest victory in 2020 only confirmed what the league already knew. Hield is a natural competitor, ready to shine under the spotlight. In Indiana, besides maintaining his production as a high-volume shooter, he took on a leadership role in the locker room, guiding younger players and showing consistency in numbers. His fit in Golden State seems natural, almost as if he had been molded for this style of play. Surrounded by other creators and shooters, Hield finds space to exploit his offensive gravity while also contributing with drives and physical defense against stronger forwards. His potential to climb further up the all-time three-point list is immense, and his immediate impact has already made him an indispensable piece for the Warriors in decisive games. If Hield and Seth Curry represent the pinnacle of perimeter specialists, Al Horford embodies reinvention. When he entered the NBA in 2007, he was seen as a traditional big man, focused on interior play and mid-range shots. But time revealed he would adapt like few others. From the 2015 to 16 season onwards, he began incorporating the three-point shot, and his evolution was steady. What was once an exception became a primary weapon. Horford not only learned to shoot from the perimeter, but also sustained efficiency close to 40% across several seasons. In 2023 to 24, he recorded an impressive 41.9%, numbers worthy of pure perimeter specialists, something rare for a center of his generation. This transformation not only prolonged his career, reducing the physical strain of battling exclusively in the paint, but also turned him into a versatile stretch big, capable of opening lanes for guards and complicating the lives of opposing centers. Today, his role goes far beyond statistics. He offers coaches the chance to vary systems, whether as a floor-spacing center or a mobile power forward, enabling greater defensive and offensive fluidity. His game, once seemingly destined to fade with age, found new life by aligning with the modern NBA's demands. This has not only kept him relevant, but made him even more valuable. Horford's example shows that adaptation is not merely survival. It is a way to reinvent oneself and remain competitive at the highest level. This combination of profiles, Seth as the survivor of an unlikely journey, Hield as the deadly marksman, and Horford as the reinvented veteran, creates an intriguing scenario for Golden State. A team once defined by its shooting revolution now finds itself once again surrounded by elite specialists. But unlike the past, it is not merely about volume and flair. It is about resilience, tactical intelligence, and versatility across different contexts of the game. This new context for the Golden State Warriors does not happen by chance. The board understood that, in order to once again compete strongly for titles, it would be necessary to bet on players who combine experience, efficiency, and the ability to adapt quickly to the system. The roster was assembled with pieces that not only know how to shoot, but also carry stories that connect with one another. All of them, in some way, bear the weight of overcoming reinvention or consistency. This generates a bond of identity, something that goes beyond cold statistics. Seth Curry is a clear example of how patience and persistence can transform an underestimated player into an essential weapon. He does not only have one of the best shooting percentages in league history, but he also brings with him the baggage of having faced rejections that shaped his character. Alongside young players still seeking validation, his presence serves as a silent inspiration. It does not matter how the journey begins, but rather how one insists on continuing. This detail is fundamental for teams that aspire to longevity in grueling competitions such as the NBA. Buddy Hield, in turn, represents the personification of the natural-born shooter. Since college, he had already drawn attention for his range, but in the NBA, he showed that he was not just a flash in the pan. Over time, he became a name that forces defenses to reorganize merely by being on the court. This creates an indirect effect that benefits everyone around him: space for drives, more freedom for creative guards, and the possibility of collapsing defenses in decisive moments. It is exactly this type of impact that makes the Warriors' collective game even more threatening. And when we look at Al Horford, we see someone who knew how to reinvent himself so as not to be swallowed by the change of era in basketball. If in the past centers dominated the painted area, today they need to space the floor and defend multiple positions. Horford made this transition in exemplary fashion, to the point of becoming a reference for other veterans trying to prolong their careers. His presence in Golden State brings not only reliable perimeter shooting, but also leadership and tactical intelligence, both essential in long playoff series. Added to them is the factor of youth growing around these veterans. Moses Moody, for example, not only shows development as a reliable shooter, but also as a versatile defender. His ability to guard forwards and still punish on offense fits perfectly into the Warriors' style, based on constant rotation and fast-paced attack. Brandon Podziemski, with his tireless energy and reading of the game, offers dynamism both by creating plays and by exploiting the gaps left by defenses focused on the veterans. Quinton Post, meanwhile, emerges as another unexpected alternative, capable of spacing the floor even while playing in higher positions, adding depth to the roster. The result of this ensemble is a squad that can hardly be defended in a traditional manner. Against teams that try to protect the paint, the Warriors spread shooters around the perimeter, punishing any rotation mistake. Against opponents who try to contest every outside shot, the intelligent movement and quick cuts of players like Podziemski or Moody open up space for drives and easy baskets. This offensive flexibility is what makes Golden State such an unpredictable team. Another important detail is that all of these names carry complementary characteristics. Seth Curry is a specialist in off-ball movement. Hield stands out for his high volume of made shots. Horford provides the versatility of playing inside or outside the paint, while the younger ones add intensity and willingness to defend multiple positions. This blend creates balance between youth and experience, something that often makes the difference in long playoff series, when legs grow heavy and the mind must be ready to adapt to each tactical adjustment. The psychological impact of this roster also cannot be ignored. Opponents facing the Warriors now know they cannot give space to anyone. There is no safe help or player who can be left open. This constant pressure wears down any defense mentally, forcing rival coaches to change schemes and rotate lineups in search of solutions that rarely appear. Such wear and tear opens cracks that Golden State, historically, knows how to exploit like few others. Moreover, there is the factor of collective leadership. It is no longer about depending on a single name to carry all the weight. Seth brings the resilience of someone who never gave up. Hield arrives with the confidence of someone who has already shown in decisive moments. Horford adds the serenity of someone who has survived different generations of the league, while the young players provide the energy of those who have something to prove. This sum of stories creates a competitive yet healthy environment where everyone knows their value within the system. This chemistry has already begun to show in recent games. Hield's performance against Houston was just one example of what this group can achieve when in tune. With each match, greater cohesion can be seen, with extra passes, well-synchronized cuts, and mutual trust in letting a teammate take the right shot. This trust, built on and off the court, is what usually transforms good teams into champions. And it is precisely this sense of return to the roots that excites fans. During the peak of the dynasty, the Warriors became known for being relentless from the three-point line, forcing the entire NBA to adapt to that style. Now, with a new roster full of specialists, the franchise shows signs that it can relive that era of supremacy, but with a new approach, more mature and less dependent on individual brilliance. The most fascinating aspect is realizing how this new version of Golden State is not simply seeking to repeat the formula of previous years, but rather to adapt it to the current context of the NBA. The league has evolved, defenses are more physical, systems are more sophisticated, and relying solely on individual talent is no longer enough. It is in this scenario that the depth of the squad becomes so significant. When an opponent manages to shut down one option, 2 or 3 others are ready to step up. This diversity ensures that the Warriors are never left without alternatives, something vital in a competition as long as the season and, above all, in playoff series. Another point that deserves highlighting is the strategic value of having veterans who know how to handle pressure. Hield, for example, has already shown that he can deliver in critical moments, while Horford has lived through intense battles in conference finals and even NBA finals. Seth Curry, with his journey of highs and lows, has learned not to be intimidated in risky situations. This collective experience creates an emotional fortress, where each player understands that great moments are not a threat, but an opportunity to leave their mark. For the younger players, this environment is a gift. Athletes like Podziemski and Moody are in a setting where they not only learn on the court, but also receive lessons in sporting life. They see up close how a player can reinvent himself at 30, how it is possible to resist the label of being disposable, and how daily discipline can transform careers. This kind of culture is what sustains dynasties, because it goes beyond technique. It forges a winning mentality. And if we look coldly at the numbers, what we see is even more encouraging. With so many above-average shooters, Golden State has the rare ability to maintain consistency even when the accuracy of 1 or 2 players falters. This is because the responsibility is spread out. It is not necessary to wait for a historic night from just one name. It is enough that each piece fulfills its role. The sum of small contributions turns into an offensive avalanche, difficult to contain over 4 quarters. This collective strength also brings defensive benefits. When the offense is working, the defense gains confidence and intensity. Players who know they will have an offensive role tend to give even more of themselves at the other end of the court. Hield and Moody, for example, have already shown they can guard more physical wings, while Horford remains a key figure in rim protection and defensive communication. Even Seth, never known as a defender, has improved in positioning and reading, providing solidity without compromising the scheme. But the great asset of this squad lies in its flexibility. They can play at a fast pace, taking advantage of constant movement to create space, or in the half-court, exploiting the intelligence of the veterans to punish slower defenses. They can use small lineups, with 4 shooters around a mobile center, or line up taller formations without losing efficiency on the perimeter. This ability to adapt is one of Golden State's greatest weapons, making them an almost impossible opponent to predict. The fans can feel this change. The atmosphere in San Francisco has regained that contagious energy, reminiscent of the early years of dominance, but with a different maturity. It is no longer about surprising the league, but about reaffirming a legacy with new protagonists. With every game, the supporters see not only victories, but also a narrative of resilience and reinvention that connects the team's recent history to the present. And if we think in terms of legacy, the building of this squad has the potential to mark a new era. Just as the Warriors of the past forced the whole league to rethink its concepts of three-point shooting, this version can reinforce the idea that collective consistency surpasses isolated talents. The balance between experience and youth, combined with the diversity of skills, offers a model that other teams will certainly try to copy. Deep down, what Golden State is building goes beyond immediate results. It is a culture of trust, where each player knows he will have his chance to shine, whether in a playoff series, in a decisive regular season game, or in an unexpected moment. This shared confidence is the fuel that keeps the machine running, even in the face of adversity. For all these reasons, it is clear that the Warriors are not only rewriting their own story, but also adding new chapters to a dynasty that has already changed the NBA once. Now, with a renewed arsenal of shooters and resilient veterans, the goal is not just to compete, it is to once again leave a deep mark on the game. The world of basketball is buzzing with rumors that could shake up the future of the NBA. According to reliable sources, the Golden State Warriors are quietly working to secure the signing of Sotto, the talented Filipino center, for the 2025 season. If this deal goes through, it would not only be a technical boost for the team, but also a historic milestone for Filipino basketball and the globalization of the NBA. Standing at 18 meters tall, Sotto is a player who naturally commands attention on any court. But what really stands out about him is not just his height, but the rare combination of skills he brings to the game. As a defender, his wingspan and reaction time are impressive, making him an excellent rim protector. However, it is in his offensive versatility where he truly excels. Unlike traditional centers who tend to play closer to the basket, Kai has a reliable mid-range shot, something highly valued in modern basketball. This ability to stretch the floor is one of the factors that have caught the attention of NBA scouts. Sotto's journey so far is a story of overcoming challenges and determination. Born in the Philippines, a country where basketball is more than a sport but a national passion, he started to stand out at a very young age. His talent quickly caught attention, and it soon became clear that he needed to seek bigger challenges to grow. That's when, still a teenager, he decided to leave his homeland to compete in international leagues, marking the beginning of a journey that would take him to various parts of the world. His first big experience in professional basketball came in the NBL, the Australian League, where he had the chance to face experienced opponents and prove that he could compete at a high level. During his time there, Kai showed that he was not just a promising talent, but a player capable of influencing games on both sides of the court. His defensive presence and offensive ability turned heads, solidifying his reputation as one of the most promising young centers. After this experience, he moved on to Japan's B-League, where he continued to evolve as a player. In Japan, he became a key player for his team, accumulating solid performances and earning more and more space. More than just an athlete, Kai became a true ambassador of Filipino basketball, showing the world that players from his homeland have the talent to shine on the global stage. His presence in the Japanese league further strengthened his name among NBA scouts, increasing the chances that he would finally get an opportunity in the world's premier basketball league. Now, with the possibility of joining the Golden State Warriors, the question is, how would Kai Sotto fit into the team? The Warriors are known for their fast and dynamic style of play, based on constant movement and accurate long-distance shooting. However, one of the gaps the team has shown in recent years is the lack of a dominant center, someone who can consistently protect the rim and contribute offensively beyond the pick-and-roll game. Kai Sotto has exactly the profile that could fill this need. His ability to collect rebounds would be a great asset for the team, especially in the defensive sector, where the Warriors need to improve their presence in the paint. Additionally, his shot-blocking ability could transform the team's defense, making it even more solid and efficient. Offensively, the fact that he can space the floor and shoot from mid-range would add a new dimension to the Warriors' game, creating more space for the guards and wings to shine. But Kai Sotto's potential arrival with the Warriors goes far beyond the technical impact. If this deal goes through, it will be a historic event for the Filipino community around the world. The Bay Area, where the Warriors are based, has one of the largest Filipino populations outside of the Philippines, meaning Kai's presence on the team would create a special connection with this community. For many fans, seeing him wear the Warriors jersey wouldn't just be a source of pride, but also a symbol of representation and inclusion in the NBA. Signing Kai would also open doors for a new wave of Filipino fans to follow the team more closely, further strengthening the franchise's already solid global engagement. This wouldn't just be a smart move in terms of marketing, but a genuine way to bring the team closer to a fan base that is incredibly passionate about basketball. And it doesn't stop there. Kai Sotto is not only a talented player, but also a charismatic young man who is extremely popular on social media. His impact goes beyond the court, and his presence in the NBA would certainly attract attention from sponsors and brands looking to expand their presence in Asia. The Warriors, who already have a strong global identity, could benefit from this factor, further boosting their international relevance. Filipino basketball has always had great talents, but few have had a real chance in the NBA. If Kai Sotto gets this opportunity and establishes himself in the league, he could open doors for future generations of Filipino players, proving that there is space for athletes from his homeland to compete at the highest level. His success could inspire a new generation of young players, showing that it's possible to dream big and reach the biggest stages in world basketball. Kai Sotto's possible move to the Golden State Warriors is still not confirmed, but the rumors are already enough to excite fans. If this deal goes through, we'll not only have an important reinforcement for the team, but also a historic moment for global basketball. Now, all we can do is wait and see what the future holds for this talented Filipino center. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave a like. It helps the channel a lot and shows that you want more content like this. If you're not subscribed yet, go ahead and subscribe so you don't miss any updates. Thanks and see you in the next video.